let's go ahead and have a closer look at the transmitter over here. Starting off with the front of it, you'll notice that we are greeted with this nice beautiful display screen, which is actually pretty bright even for outdoors use. And to the right hand side of the transmitter on the front, you will notice that we do have these 3 buttons, and again that's going to allow us to navigate through the menu. So next over here onto the left hand side of the transmitter, you'll notice that we do have an SDI input connection and along with an HDMI input connection, which is a really nice feature about the Pyro S because it's going to allow us to be able to use both types of connections, HDMI and SDI. Next over here onto the far right hand side, you'll see that on the very top we do have the power on and off switch. So just under the power switch we do have a USB-C connection, and again, as we talked about earlier on the transmitter over here, that USB-C connection is going to allow us to connect a wireless network card, so therefore we can provide a network internet connection to this transmitter, and therefore now we can go ahead and live stream via the HollyView app. So just under the USB-C connection we do have a DC input connection, which is going to allow us to supply a DC input anywhere from 6 volts to 16 volts DC, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm actually powering this transmitter via the V-mount battery, and I'm using a D-tap to DC cable, and it is supplying about 14.4 volts from this V-mount battery over here. This is the CG Cine S150, and this one V-mount battery is powering my whole rig. It's powering my camera, powering my monitor, and it's also powering the Hollyland transmitter over here via the DC connection that we have at the side. And as we briefly talked about earlier, we can power the transmitter and the receiver via the MPF battery option as well. At the bottom of the transmitter and the receiver we do have quarter 20 thread mounting option, which is going to allow us to mount the transmitter, for an example, onto our camera or onto our gimbal or onto like a mini tripod if you need to. And the receiver, as you guys can see, I'm actually using the Hollyland swivel mount, which is included with the kit. I have it mounted over here onto my director's rig just underneath the receiver, and it just simply screws in nice and tight and firm, and I can adjust the angle if I like to. And at the top of the transmitter we do have these 3 threaded mounting options for the paddle antennas, which again, those antennas are going to support that 2.4G and 5G frequency band.